GM everyone, welcome to another episode of Investing Analysis. Let's get into it. First of all, the signals are now only accessible and available for the Discord subscribers. Make sure to get inside Discord and follow the instructions inside this channel to unlock signals for yourself, right? So yesterday we analyzed Ethereum inside our Discord and we saw how the long liquidations underneath current price were weaker as compared to the short liquidations above current price, right? And you can see Ethereum is leading the market basically. Even ETH BTC is stronger, and I posted the update of ETH BTC inside my Twitter 2 to 3 days back. When price was inside the range, I was expecting one of these imbalances to be filled in the very short term, right? So make sure to follow me on Twitter as well. And if you see Ethereum right now, ETH BTC, we still have room to go towards this zone, which was previous support, and this time this will act as a resistance, right? So this means Ethereum still has room to go higher, maybe towards 2400 or 2500, right? Once ETH BTC reaches this specific area, I'll be monitoring it because if it successfully flips this resistance and flips it as a support, this will send your Ethereum much higher and much quicker towards those 3000 area, right? So we'll be monitoring it and posting the updates inside my Twitter. So you have to understand everything in the very short term depends upon oil. The more oil goes lower, the more the risk assets will go higher, right? Because oil and geopolitical conditions, these two are something that's controlling your price in the very short term. Still, oil weaker here will be seeing its reaction at this range high, the $90. So this means if it drops, the risk assets gonna go higher. So these areas are where you should not see oil because if oil flips this area and goes towards this zone, that will be extremely bearish for the markets and don't expect it to be filled at these days now, right? So let's get into Bitcoin stuff. But this BTC XPX ratio, you can see it's showing absolute strength and absolute momentum for continuation. And that's one of the reasons why I have removed my active limits of Bitcoin long from 68.5k. Price is showing absolute momentum based on chain data as well and based on those low fundings that we will discuss in a while. I had some active limits at 68.5k based on liquidation clusters and negative fundings. But for now, you can see we have some strong momentum in price. We have weaker uh, trending momentum in oil, right? So I have cancelled the 68.5k limit, but the liquidations are still in this specific zone. This means price can revisit this area in future somewhere, but at that specific time we'll look at it, right? For now, I don't have active limits at 68.5k. It's simple, and the only long trigger for me would be break of 75k as I discussed yesterday also. 75k, you can see price wicked it and faked out above it. Once price breaks 75k and holds above this, that would be a long criteria for me to target 80k. That would be an easy day trade. So we'll be still monitoring it for any momentum above 75k, right? So price is still at no trading zone for me. If it falls, the first support for the demand rather I say for Bitcoin would be 72k, right? And then we have an absolute support of this range high, which is 70k, right? So these two are the areas where we would see how price reacts, and we can also find some longs from these two areas, 72k and 70k above the range high. So again, this shorter term picture has nothing to do with our longer view. Our long term bias is very clear, and we are deployed inside spot from the very beginning of this rally, right? We still have 95% allocation for today inside our portfolio, and we are expecting higher prices for the next 1 2 months based on liquidity theory as well. All the on-chain analysis we do and the GLI fair value gap, which is above the current price, right? So nothing changed in our bias, and we don't care what the fuck price does in the very short term. So we have a lot of volatility to be coming in the next 26 hours. We have FOMC meeting, which will be very interesting to trade and even to see it, right? We have a change in the funding rates, but this is not something that we can call a positive funding because this is not even closer to the neutral funding. If you day trade, you would know that the fundings which is anywhere bit closer bit towards 0.01 is considered as neutral funding. So very good thing to see. You can see we have very low fundings on weekly time frame. This is not something that you can call positive funding, And the evidence you can see on Coin Analyze also. We have negative fundings, right? Which still means that a lot of traders are still shorting the market. You can see the evidence on check on chain as well. So, right. So Bitcoin spin out profit ratio. We analyzed this specific on-chain indicator in two of our investing analysis, and I told you price will take support or resistance at this trajectory before moving higher. So you can see it stayed below this mid-range and went up after 2 to 3 days, right? So still, if it the more it stays in this specific zone, the more it's gonna build up energy and then bust above this and go. This will send price much higher, right? Stable coins rate of change increasing gradually. We discussed this also in one of our investing analysis. This is increasing gradually and slowly. This indicates the money flow from other risk assets inside crypto, right? Short-term MVR we not to discuss again. We discussed it in one of our investing analysis. You can check it out yourself. Bitcoin retail investor volume, we discussed this yesterday also, that in this specific zone I'm not interested. Once it comes towards negative 18%, that would be extremely bullish for the price, right? We have the long-term liquidation clusters above the current price, right, at these areas, which is our main target and our main concern and our main bias for the long term, right? So nothing changed. We are expecting this in the very near term, right? So I guess that's enough for today. We don't care what price does in the very short term, but if price falls, the first support would be 72K, where you would be expecting for price to take support, right? So you can find some scalp opportunities at 72K and day trade above 75K, right? So I guess that's enough for today. Make sure to get inside Discord and unlock the signals for yourself, right? Thanks for watching.